This episode of Family Trips is brought to you by Nissan. Adventure calls in the first ever Nissan Rogue Rock Creek. Learn more at nissanusa.com. Here we go. Hi, Bashi.
Hey, Sufi.
This is our holiday spectacular.
Yeah.
And all it is you and I and two of our favorite guests. And then a video message from our third, who's another favorite guest. And I would mostly just say it's a freewheeling shit show.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But I loved it, and it made me feel like the holidays because for me, the most special time is when you're just sitting with people you love and having a good old time.
Yeah. I mean, you do ask me in this episode sort of what my holiday plan is with all of the activities I have planned for Mom and Dad and Mackenzie and Mackenzie's mom, Linda, who are going to be out here. And but it is important to sort of schedule some time that's just like hanging out on the couch, turn on the fireplace, or actually start a fire if you live in a place where that's what you do. But we've got a little gas fireplace and sitting around chatting. It's hard to beat.
Hard to beat. So this is a real chat fest. Please do enjoy it. And you know what? It's not a holiday song, but listen to this anyway.
Family trips with the Meyers brothers. Family trips with the Meyers brothers. Here we go.
It's very exciting, Posh. We're doing a holiday spectacular. And to make it spectacular, we have two guests. One is joining, but we're starting with Ike Barinholtz. Hi, buddy.
Morning, boys. Happy ho ho ho! Happy holidays.
Oh, nice save. Hey, Ike. Did you know the difference between a 9 branch candelabrum in the Jewish
menorah
religion and a 7? The menorah is 7. Do you know what it's called when it's 9? So it just pointed out to me.
Menorah. Like there's
Okay,
more
so
of them?
I think you could also just say, I don't know. We're not...
A Ninora?
I know a couple things, buddy.
Son of a
Celebrity
gun.
Jeopardy
It is a
trophy
bummer to
right
see
there.
a celebrity Jeopardy. By the way, this proves how deeply anti-Semitic that show is, that obviously there are no questions about Hanukkah.
It did take me a minute to see that you were tapping your Jeopardy thing and not a menorah behind you.
Is it a
giant
Hanukkah?
menorah.
I think it's called a...
Oh, Hanukkah. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
That makes sense. Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. But if you ask me any other question about Judaism, I will know it.
Are you bummed that there's a pop culture Jeopardy now? Because if you go on it, it will seem like you're being thirsty, but you also think you could win that too.
No, I think it's good. I think there should be Jeopardies for every category. I think there should be specialized Jeopardy. I think there should be Pittsburgh Steeler Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Like I want every type of Jeopardy out there. I'm for expanding the Jeopardy universe.
I forget also, did you guys celebrate Hanukkah in the Barinholtz house, or were you a Christmas
we
house?
were primary Hanukkah, but every holiday our trip was we would go to Ohio to see my mom's non-Jewish families, and we would get like our dose of Christmas time there. So we got a little bit of best of both worlds.
Yeah, as kids, did you favor one over the other?
I mean, Hanukkah was so great. You get 8 presents most years. Some years you only got a couple. I'm very staunchly, you guys know this about me, I'm very pro latke.
Yeah.
I have been my whole life. I'm a sour cream man. So I loved that.
You love any food that's accompanied with sour cream.
Oh yeah, pierogies.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nice
don't
baked
get me
potato.
started. Oh, baked potato, a loaded baked potato. Don't even get me started on borscht.
Memoras, which is a bigger baked potato because there's more of it.
But I also loved going to Ohio. You know, it was like cold and snowy, and you know, we would get a couple presents, and then we would go to my aunt's house, and we would like 47 people would stand around while my uncle did like the world's longest prayer, Christian prayer, and then we would eat. And so I would when I was younger, I would give Hanukkah the edge. But now that I live in a house with 4 Christians.
Yeah.
Or 1 Christian and 3 whatever children. They have no religion.
4 shixes.
4 shixes. 4 shixes. Hold on real quick. Siri, set a Netflix pitch called 4 shixes. But I gotta say, I'm a big embracer of Christmas time now. Like our house is so Christmas-fied. I'm wearing a red hat.
Yeah.
It's not a MAGA hat.
It was because I supported him in 2016, but I do not support him any longer. So I had it refurbished to say Amy Poehler's production company.
I know you, like your brother Johnny, 3 years younger than you? 4 years?
No,
6?
he's 6.
6 years younger than you. So when you would go down to Ohio, were there a lot of other kids your age, or were you guys?
Yeah, that was the kind of the best part about it. It was cousin country. Like we had, like my mom had 5 siblings, and they pretty much all had kids. So we would go down there and just hang out with my cousins, and we would watch Ohio State football with them. And then I would like bring a copy of Trading Places and like put it in the VCR. And like my aunt would be like there'd be a scene with like Jamie Lee Curtis is like having sex or something. And she'd be like, what is going on in here? But it was.
And then your uncle would be like, well, I guess next year the prayer is going to be longer because you're obviously not listening.
You're watching this sinful movie.
I definitely know you. Josh knows you as a one of the great reasons you're a perfect friend is you were a ringleader. You're a good time guy. Were you that at a young age with your cousins?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Was always looking to get into like fun trouble with them. And I'm still like friends with them. They're wonderful people, mostly Ohio based, but wonderful, wonderful folks.
You mentioned snow. You grew up in Chicago, which also gets snow.
Yes.
Can you just talk about, because you experienced both, the difference between how lovely country snow is versus how shitty city snow is?
It is night and day. It's just, yeah. In Ohio, you wake up and it's just like big fields where the snow is it just looks like completely smooth, and you get out there and you're running and you got your snowshoes in. You come in, mom's made some hot cocoa, and you go back out there. And in Chicago, it's just like you're running to get on the bus and you slip and you fall face first in just like yellow brown ice slush.
The speed in which it's yellow brown is heartbreaking.
Oh, yeah. At like 4:18 a.m. in Chicago, it snows, and by like 6:45, just like 7 dogs have pissed there, like tire tracks have run over it, and it's very sad snow in Chicago. I'm
really proud of myself for not cutting you off and calling bullshit when you said you used to run in snowshoes. Can you imagine Poshy Ike in Ohio? He used to put on my snowshoes, run. That's such a lie. You can't fucking move in those things. By the way, I'm cursing so much because Ike is here, and Ike's not cursing. I'm cursing, and I apologize. I'm going to stop.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know what snowshoes look like. Like, I think I do, but I don't. I've never snowshoed in my life.
You've done it, Posh.
I've only done it once, and there wasn't enough snow, so it was sort of like not ideal.
It's bad.
Do you guys ski?
Yeah.
See, I don't ski, but my family, the 4 Shixes, love skiing. So we'll go to like a ski holiday, but I won't ski. And every time I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to rent some snowshoes. And then I end up just like going to the fitness center and like looking at my phone on like a bench press.
I think an anagram for Shixas has skis.
I think you're literally right.
I think I might actually be right. Yeah, this is my first on-the-fly anagram, and I feel really good about it.
That was very impressive. I got to say, damn.
I was just going to say one more thing about city snow, because I think in New York, certainly, again, we're talking about 30 years of climate change, but the snow kind of lands and it's gone very fast in a city. My memory of the years I lived in Chicago, if it snowed, it would almost be 3 or 4 days of there are cars, you cannot get out.
Yes.
And it is incredible to look back at how upsetting it was when there was snow like that.
It's also like it accumulates and just stays the whole winter. So like by like mid-March, it's just like you're walking down the street, there's just like a black wall next to you. I'm just like pushed up, frozen, iced out dirt snow. It's not. Yeah, soot snow.
When you would go to Ohio, was there a lot of outdoor activity? I mean, I've been there and it was pretty flat. I don't know if there was like a place to go sledding.
No, there was outdoor activity, but it was not perpetual motion based. It was like, it was like, let's go out and walk around the barn and look at the frozen cow patties. But it was beautiful. I mean this in like a wonderful way. Summertime in Ohio was a lot more like, let's play wiffle ball, let's do this. But wintertime was more just like strap on the snowshoes, just take the crampons, just kind of bind it to your leg.
Just
you know how snowshoes work.
Just run. Put on the snowshoes and run.
Go for I would run the mile. I would run a mile or two in the snowshoes because they're bound to your foot and you guys know how snowshoes. I'm not gonna talk to your audience about how snowshoes work.
You know what they call you if you're in snowshoes and you have to run from a bear?
What?
Dead. They call you dead. You're a dead person. Hey, we have another special. We have another special guest, and I'm gonna call this out. Wait. Okay. You're a special guest, Ike. And
okay, I was told I was the only guest today, but go ahead.
Ike's wearing a hat. I'm going to gamble that our next guest is also wearing a hat because he's one of America's great hat puller offers. Show me hat.
I'm a gambling junkie. I'll take the under. No hat.
No hat. Okay.
I'm not a gambling junkie. I'm a gambling.
And you still like your bets paid off in Dogecoin, right?
Preferably, yeah. Or the Hawk Tua coin. I put all my money in Hawk Tua. Yeah, I have.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, God, yes. No hat.
Yes. That's my boy.
It's a vampire.
I can go get one. I can go get one in a second.
No. It's better that you're not.
I lost $200. I had money. I had all my money on hat.
Oh, Ike went with the hat.
Yeah.
Well, it's a holiday hat, Timothy.
Timothy Olyphant, everyone.
Yes.
Timothy Olyphant is here. And I think, so Tim, I feel like you pull off a hat unlike a lot of people. You've had two great hat roles. Yet,
yes.
Go, maybe the first time I saw you in Go, I spent the whole time being like, that's an incredible head of hair. So it just goes to show you can win on both columns.
Oh, start.
That's a good head of salad right there. Mine's not. I basically, this is a 3-hour process. So
yeah,
I have my team.
And where are we now? Are we like in the middle of it? Right now, or are we still? Did you do the whole process and that's what this is?
I've been up since 5. We had to take a break. It's 3 people. It's one person to just kind of apply the glue, the industrial glue.
Yeah.
One person to kind of strap it all on. And then I need someone to kind of hold my hand.
And you showed them a picture of a Russian hat, a Russian winter hat.
Yeah. That was kind of the style I was going for. I wanted to buy a hat from the guy and he gave me a new hair. So it worked out for everyone.
Not that we're just trying to push people to our YouTube channel, but I'd like to spend a lot of time talking about Tim's current setup. You do look like a vampire. You do look like you have lowered the curtains to keep the sun out.
That I was instructed to lower the curtains for light, and then I turned the computer and I said, "Look I'm like in a Hitchcock film."
Yeah,
Barry, where's my? You guys sent a DP. Did you guys not get the DP?
Yeah, no,
we didn't get it.
You didn't get a. Because I see what you just got the flat and then...
You're doing another podcast next called Talkin' Bordellos.
With Seth Meyers.
Yeah. I mean, obviously. You don't do other people's podcasts.
How many have you got now, when
Strikeforce 5 is retired. So only 2 active podcasts. Tim, are you back from Finland?
Is that... I don't believe that for a second. Only 2.
It's because you do corrections as a pod also.
Oh, yeah. I take it back. I think I have 4. But
doubled.
2 of them are just repurposed from the show.
Josh pressed you and it doubled. That's amazing.
I pressed you to 3 and you went to 4.
Yeah,
right?
I think the show's got a podcast too. But I don't.
That's exactly my point.
That's just chopped up.
And then you've got that one with Martha Stewart and Snoop coming out with Seth Meyers, right?
Yeah, that's the one where they keep saying, but why are you here?
You're the glue. You hold it together. You're the center.
Glue gun.
You know what I mean? Sorry, you had a question. I'm really just here to listen.
I had my first, well, I'm going to turn my question around to Ike. All right, so Tim just shot in Finland. Ike.
Yeah.
I actually don't know the answer to this. Have you ever shot abroad? Nah, I'm not counting Canada.
And that's not a woman. He means
Yeah,
like,
I was about to say. One time in Vegas in 2003.
I once
but
shot
have
a
no
broad.
memory of it.
No.
right.
No.
I once shot abroad.
Yeah, I shot abroad, all right.
Yeah.
I
Shot abroad and got away with it. Goes with the noir. Goes with the look, right?
Yeah.
You really See what happened there?
Yeah.
You look like a gumshoe who's about to hand me photos of my wife having sex with my business partner.
You're welcome.
Also, just for the listeners, real quick, I want to say that it is 4 dudes right now, and we did invite some ladies, and they all turned us down.
Yeah.
But
Well, they said, are you going to do that classic shot abroad bit? And we were like, yeah.
Just to be clear, we're not misogynists. We just have no female friends. Fucking chill.
Guys, hold up. You want some ladies? Give me a second.
This is Josh's nightmare. Josh's Family Trips podcast has turned into 4 dudes chat.
By the way, can we just, and I want to get back to the shot abroad question real, so I won't take long, really. What is this that we're doing?
Oh, good question. And let me just say, I continue to be impressed by how enthusiastically you join projects where you have no idea what it is or what the purpose.
There's Meyers
you
brothers.
said the same.
That's all I heard.
Same question on the first day of Justified.
Yeah. What is this?
This is like working with Bruce Willis every day. God bless him. Every day on the set of what do you call those shows? Die Hard. Thank
4.
you. Every day we'd show up and we'd start looking at the sides, and he'd be like, "Are we shooting this today?" and this was on the call sheet. I can't say this. I can't.
Oh, it's great. It's
Sorry.
great. Number
So,
1 on the call
please.
sheet. You can be surprised.
It's amazing.
This is the Family Trips holiday special. We decided to join up with some of our most special guests, and so that's what we're doing.
Thank you.
That's it.
Yeah.
I knew Family Trips, and I knew something about holiday, and then everything else is a surprise, which is lovely. And
I was listening back to your episode, Tim, and when we started talking about family trips, you very quickly said, we never took any.
Immediately.
So I don't expect you to have any holiday memories to share, but I think maybe some occasional
first of all,
barbs.
I honestly thought they're calling it Family Trips, but it's a celebrity interview thing. We all know what it is. But I'm a big fan of the show. I don't listen to it, but I read the transcripts. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Josh, at the end there, that little poem, have you thought about putting it to music? My question, but what I've noticed,
Olyphant's on fire.
what I've noticed is that people are talking about trips on your show.
Yeah.
I had no idea they were going to go for it.
Yeah.
They're going for it, and I'll tell you this.
I want another swing at it. You know what I mean?
Hillary and Larry Meyers are outraged when people come on without trips. Outraged.
Listen, you invite me back on I don't know if we talk about trips on the holiday special, but I'll talk trips. I'll talk trips all day long. But first we want to hear about what the time Ike shot abroad.
I will say real quick before we get to it, because I'm really excited about this answer.
The
longer we wait, and it's going to be no. But my dad's always like, I feel like you should check beforehand to find out, what their trip situation is. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. I'm trying to add steps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know, Dad. I didn't know you produce podcasts. Wow,
I said, Dad, I've got 4 of these. Come on.
All right, here we go.
Yes.
Oh.
My first film ever was a movie in Holland.
I don't know if I'm going to count this because you didn't travel for it.
All right, no, I didn't.
Was it the
like-
Burt Reynolds one?
No, it was Down. On film
Down.
by Dick Maas. So there's a Dutch director named Dick Maas who is like He's like, I would say he's like the Dutch, not the Dutch Spielberg, but the Dutch Michael Bay, maybe.
Sure.
Oh. And
the dog down.
he made a famous movie in 1980 in Holland called The Lift, about a haunted elevator. And then he remade his own movie, and I played Edward Herman's assistant. And that was, I did not travel for it, but it was shot in a country that I was not.
Did you die in the haunted elevator movie?
I did not. I was just like a frazzled assistant. I was like, oh, sir, I don't know. I'll call the police.
How many, and I know, Josh is so mad, but I do think this is a fun question. Ike and Tim, for both of you, how many times have you died in a movie? I feel like
two.
Oh, wow.
Two.
Suicide Squad?
I don't
Suicide
know
Squad?
the answer to this.
Yeah, that's a hard question
I don't know.
to just
but
know.
The Hunt in a movie called Bright.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Hunt is
feel
really
like-
fun.
The funny thing would be if I asked him how many people he's killed and he knew the exact number.
That'd be great. I don't know how many times I've died, but I've killed
Yeah.
78.
He doesn't
you're
keep
like,
a calendar
I'm
on the wall, but he has a
Look,
body count number.
I've done a lot of movies. I don't know how many times I did. Oh, I killed
Well,
171.
Let me count my arm. 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6,
31
yeah.
projects killed 78 people.
I mean, I bet, Tim, don't you think you're,
I've died.
near 100?
For a kill
Oh.
count, he's at 100 for sure. Between
Oh,
Deadwood and
my kill
yeah,
count?
for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was in a
I
movie
pull up
called
my
Hitman.
Wikipedia
You were in
page.
Hitman.
Is it on the Wikipedia page? By the way, if we come up with a number, it'd be great if it got to the Wikipedia page before we ended the pod.
Speaking of Tim, I've been doing some editing on your Wikipedia page. Can I ask you a couple quick questions? Did you ever win the Pillsbury Bake Off in 2002? You did not?
No.
Shit. Sorry, guys. Can I take up a 5-minute break to do a quick little edit?
Hey, we're going to take a quick break and hear from some of our sponsors. This episode of Family Trips is brought to you by Nissan. It's time to fuel your inner adventure in the award-winning Nissan Rogue Rock Creek. So, Josh, tell me about a recent time you connected with your inner adventurer.
Well, anytime it rains in LA, which isn't very often, I throw my gear on and I get out in it. And my dog Woody loves to get out there with me. And we'll start on a trail, on sort of a big fire road trail, but then we find those smaller trails where you need to crawl and get your hands dirty. And the wetter you get, the better you get. And yeah, that's what we like.
I love it.
What about you? Have you connected with your inner adventurer recently?
You know those squirrel suits where people jump off the sides of cliffs?
Oh, yeah.
I just watched a YouTube video of that. But my tummy, it gave me made my tummy feel weird.
Yeah. Careful. Don't watch too many of those. Whatever kind of adventurer you are, the Nissan Rogue Rock Creek is ready for you. Thanks to its intelligent around view monitor with off-road mode, the Rogue Rock Creek helps brave adventurers like you and also Seth to navigate around narrow obstacles in tough terrain. Plus, with lava red stitching and Rock Creek embroidery, you're surrounded in style no matter where you go.
Up on Rogue Rock Creek, she sends me. Right?
Yeah, we don't have the rights.
We probably can't clear that. Nope. So thanks again to Nissan for sponsoring this episode of Family Trips. Adventure calls in the first ever Nissan Rogue Rock Creek. Learn more at nissanusa.com. Intelligent around view monitor cannot eliminate blind spots and may not detect every object. Drivers should always turn and check surroundings before driving. See owner's manual for safety information. Support for Family Trips comes from Airbnb. Hi, Pashi.
Hi, Sufi. Airbnbs are exceptional. We've stayed in Airbnbs in Pittsburgh with the family, but also at my wedding, I know we've mentioned that it was at a hotel, but at the same time, we couldn't have everyone stay there, but there were all these fabulous Airbnbs in the area. And one thing that just warmed my heart to no end is I had a group of friends from New Hampshire, childhood friends, who came, and they all stayed in one Airbnb, and I was getting pictures throughout the weekend texted to me of them getting ready, of my friend Randy Suazo and his West High half shirt, which is just a classic thing in our childhood and from our youth. And to think that my marriage got that group of people to stay together for a weekend in an Airbnb, something they probably would never have done otherwise, just made me so happy, even though I never went there. And I know that they had just the best time. And that's the kind of experience you won't get if you're not in an Airbnb, because you get to have your meals together. You get to get up and you get to have your coffee together. You get to sit around in a living room together. And it was really special. And even as someone who wasn't there, it is one of my favorite things about my wedding.
Well, that's so lovely to hear. Book your next awesome trip today at Airbnb.com.
Here we go.
Ike, are you going somewhere? Are you traveling? Are you going on a family trip this year?
We're going on a little mini trip just to like a horse ranch that's like an hour outside of LA. But last year we did the big trip. We went to England and did all that and Paris and stuff. And I'm excited this year to pretty much stay local and just I like during the holidays, like from December 21st to like the 28th. You know when you go to like a liquor store and they have like the beers that have like a friar who's like dancing with an elephant or whatever.
Yeah.
I like to drink one of those every night, like a giant thick beer that's like 10% alcohol and watch movies. So I'm very excited to do that.
You're taking the kids to the horse ranch? You got kids?
The kids are staying home. I'm just going to go solo a little bit of alone time.
How old are the kids?
Horsies.
How old are the kids?
6, 8, and 11.
All right, fun story you can tell them when you get there. You say, you say, hey kids, my friend Tim. You can say Jorma too. I bet, right? You can say my friends Tim and Jorma. They were in Finland this year, and in Finland they eat the horses.
That is a fun story.
And also show him a picture of Tim with his current lighting.
It really
This is our buddy.
By the way, the sun is shifting. I mean, it feels.
I'm just gonna send their therapy bill to family trips.
I might bring down. I could get rid of the lighting. I know most people watch this on YouTube, right? They don't listen to it.
I think we're more listeners, but it's starting to move over because of things like this. I think you're doing
That's where
great.
the money is. That's where the
Guys,
money is.
I have very exciting news.
Oh, hear it. Let's go.
There's a Timothy Olyphant wiki with your lists of deaths.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm just gonna jump around. Scream 2.
By the way, I do want to say, because my father's been very upset about this, but it's technically Olyphant.
I know. I'm sorry. I keep.
No,
getting
I know.
wrong.
It's. I don't know what to do about
Olyphant.
it, but I know that when my own kids said it wrong, and my dad looked at me like, "What the fuck?" And I was like,
Olyphant.
"Dad, whatever." Yeah, Olyphant. Yeah.
Oliphant. All right.
Whatever.
7. Scream 2. 7.
Whoa.
7. Yeah, you were a real maniac.
Only 3 in the first season of Deadwood. None in the season 2. This is fun. There's not a big Live Free or Die Hard. 22. That was a big one for you.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, bravo.
He was a terrorist.
God.
He's a terrorist.
Well, hold on.
Good point.
Hitman, as Ike was very wise here. 155.
Wow. Wow.
Now
Genocidal maniac.
you got your life right in Rango. None.
Love Rango.
Fear to the West and Rango.
2 in Deadwood, the movie, and then 2 in Amsterdam. Total kill count, according to your wiki, is 191.
Wow.
You want to know my fun Amsterdam movie, his story?
Yeah.
I'll try to keep this really quick.
Not shot in Amsterdam.
I talked to David Russell for probably a year on and off, text exchange, but it was never quite clear what the part was or the script. He never wanted to give he's very withholding of the script, but it was always like, there's this guy, but he's a bad guy, a very bad guy. And I don't know if you were interested in that, but I feel like he should have bad skin. And I was like, great. It was a lot of cryptic conversations about this role or possible roles. But I just knew that he was going to be a bad guy, and then we decided bad skin, and changed my eye. It changed I show up the day before, 2 days before I'm a shoot, got all the prosthetics, the fake nose, the eye contacts. I show up on the set. David wants to approve my look, and I look so bizarre. I told him, I was like, David, you could have just hired someone who looks this way, But then I said, look, I just want to make sure we're clear. I still haven't read a script. and he goes, are you okay with that? And I said, yeah, I told you, I'm here. You send me a call sheet, I'd show up. But I just want to make sure that I don't show up on set tomorrow. And then you're like, what do you mean you haven't read the script? And he said, he said, "Are you okay if I just tell you what to say?" And I said, "It's very common. He loves to do it." And I said, "Perfect, great. So we're good." So I show up the next day, and I show up on set, and we immediately start shooting. As soon as I get on set, and he's looking at me and this light, and he's like, "Why aren't we shooting this? We should be shooting this, right?" And immediately we're rolling. And I know I've done a bad thing, and I know that I'm getting get ready. This goes back to you. So he's like, you could be when you come up to the car, you're looking around. Where are they? Where looking around, and then your partner's in the front seat. You could be saying, "You're not driving, I'm driving." You're not driving. You could be saying that. I was like, "Do you want me to say it?" He goes, "You could be saying it." Anyway, we do a take. I come up, I'm looking around. I tell the guy, "Get the fuck out. We're an organization. We got to stay organized, and you can't drive. I'm driving, And I get in the car and we drive off, cut. I come back and he goes, "That was amazing. That was great. But remember, you just killed somebody." So
Good note.
good note. I'll adjust accordingly. That was my first day on that movie.
David
Good
O.
times.
Russell, a genius filmmaker. It's very funny, like him being like, "We got to keep my script under wraps," because it doesn't seem like he writes the kind of movies that like people are like looking to steal. You know what I mean? It's not like a Marvel script where you got
M. Night Shyamalan.
All right, family trips, everybody.
Oh, boy.
Let's go on some trips. You want to talk trips? We'll talk trips.
What is Christmas in Finland like?
Oh, they're
It's gotta
really
be
into it.
huge. Yeah, they got to be really into it.
They're
They
really
probably
into it.
created Santa and shit. Probably.
First of all, they skip Thanksgiving.
so they save it up.
Ridiculous.
They go straight to
Ridiculous.
Christmas, so it starts early.
Right.
And they're probably eating some reindeer, I would imagine.
And they got the reindeer, and apparently Santa lives up there. I think
Yeah.
a couple people have claimed Santa, and they're one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they're
sense.
very into their Christmas, and they got the Christmas town. They got the Christmas, and they got a lot of lights because it's so fucking dark.
Yeah.
So they're really into their lights.
Mm.
Nice.
Do you feel a pang of missing it now that you're gone?
Pang. I like the licorice.
Okay.
By the way, cold and dark and depressing when you're inside looking out, but when you get out, it's lovely.
Yeah.
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 That's a good way of putting it. You have to go out in sub-freezing weather to be happy.
But and they got to all be just walking around how happy they are that they're in NATO now. They're just like, "Oh, we're in NATO."
Yeah. That's the biggest Christmas gift Finland is getting this year.
Thank you, answer.
Tim, growing up, would you guys have a lot of people over for the holidays?
No,
Or were you
we were
insular?
insular. Well, yeah, it was insular. It was Christmas in Modesto. It was
Was your dad like, we're not having people over. You guys don't even know how to say our fucking last name.
Hey, real quick, do you guys mind if I plug my Hallmark holiday movie, Christmas in Modesto? It comes out tomorrow morning. So yeah, I play a young Tim in the movie.
I have a true story to tell you guys.
Oh.
So we have decommissioned iPhones, so no service, but our kids have them, and we like load up stories on them, and so they can listen. If one of the kids, the boys share a bunk bed, and if one of them wakes up early, they just put on headphones to listen to a story. So Alexi the other day realized Axel was on like chapter 18 of a book called The Christmas Tree Farm, and it has like an animated box in the. And then his headphones are out, and she hears somebody in the story say bullshit. And she's like, "What's going on?" And she goes, "Axel, what's this book about?" And he goes, "Oh, it's so good. It's about a woman who owns a bookstore, and then a guy comes back to visit his brother, and they fall in love. And then he buys a Christmas tree farm. And but then there's also, they have to find a dead body in a farm. And we're like, it's like a romance novel." And she played it, and at one point it's like, literally like her breasts were heaving. And he knew. They did not touch. And And I'm like, when, in chapter 18? So he's just he's 6 years old, FYI.
Can you take it away from him, or do you have to let him finish because he's so pot committed?
We had to take it away because this teacher said that he kept coming into class and ripping open her bodice.
Tim, back to your
Christmas in
holidays.
Modesto.
Christmas in Modesto. What
Nobody
was it like?
comes over.
What's the holiday meal? What are you guys cooking? Are you guys doing like a turkey in your house? Are you doing what are you doing?
You know, my wife asked me that. I don't remember what we ate. I remember. Here's what I remember. There's only a couple of things that really. I mean, visually, you really remember those, like going out and what seemed like crazy amount of gifts under a tree. Remember when you're little. Remember those, and those were you saw, like there was like a bicycle, remember like just like coming out and seeing a bicycle. That was the most exciting freaking thing in the world.
Yeah.
And we had a Christmas tradition which we kept up here at the Oli house. We would line up shortest to tallest before we could go out. Anyone else? Anyone do that?
Before you could go outside?
No, before you could go see the you weren't allowed. We woke up. We could not go into the living room where the tree was and the gifts were.
Gotcha.
That's great.
Right? You're not allowed. You could, and so before we could go into that living room area, we would line up and all go in together. And it was always smallest to tallest, which we did with our kids when they were little. We'd go downstairs, but you could not go in the living room until we lined up, and then we'd all go in.
And smallest gets first crack at it. Smallest
gets the first look. It's just smallest gets the first look. Everyone else is taller. And over the years, the lineup shifts.
Right, because you were the middle of three boys.
It was the middle of three, and so it always started out right. You'd have my youngest brother, then me, and my oldest brother, and then my mom and my dad. But slowly, mom would move towards the front. Right. It's kind of, right? When you get to that point where
would she act surprised when she was first look? She's like, "Oh my goodness!"
I think at that point, it's not the giddiness that you had when you were little, but it's still the tradition. But yeah, we did it. We did that here with our kids. Right? We would line up. We'd all line up, and then we'd all go in together.
I like that.
Are your kids coming home, Tim? Do they? Do you see them?
Yeah, this year they're all coming. Well, two live here in town. One's here in the house. Jesus Christ. Can we all talk about that? Somewhere along the line, my wife fucked up. Because it's not me. I mean, come on.
No, nobody thinks it's you.
I've set an example.
I'm in Finland. How could it be my fault? I'm in Finland with Jorma. I'm in Finland working my ass off eating horse. I mean, it's not...
Horse, I think, is the first memorable meal you've ever had. Every time we ask you, what did you have for Thanksgiving? I don't know.
Yeah.
What was Christmas? No idea. How about
idea.
Finland? Horse. So much horse.
You ever had horse carpaccio? It's...
yeah, but then the youngest who's in New York she comes home next week.
Great.
That's great.
When you're opening gifts, I assume there's still a lot of gifts under the tree. Do you go one at a time, or are people tearing through gifts simultaneously? Same question to you, Ike.
Again, my kids are older now, so we're throwing it back when I'm going down memory lane. You guys all have young little kids.
Yeah.
What's going on? I mean, my kids are in their 20s. What the fuck happened?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you
38.
had them earlier.
It doesn't
I'll
make...
explain it to you.
My kids, they're almost old as I am now.
Do you get do you get the same number of gifts, or has the amount of gifts under the tree diminished?
Diminished big time.
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, no.
Yeah.
Listen. No, now it's just like here's some slippers. Yeah.
If anyone in your family gets a gift that they don't really like, is it is it the thing that you say, like, I love it, or do you say, not for me?
You could give me like a bag of flaming dog shit, and I'm so adverse to conflict. I'd be like, great, thank you.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to step on something like this for a while. Awesome.
I do remember that, Ike, every time you tell me, oh my God, this movie's so good. I'm like, I saw him once be so excited about flaming dog shit.
It's just crazy. I mean, for our kids, it's pretty calm. I mean, we give them, like this year, we got them all like Bill O'Reilly's newest book.
He's got a new one?
He's got a new one. And
Killing
got a new
Jefferson.
one.
Killing Jefferson. I was like, I thought he died of natural causes. He's like, no, he was murdered. And then Yankee Candles. So it's pretty cut and dry. No, I mean it's bedlam. They are tearing through their gifts, and my wife.
You don't
and I
go. It's not one at a time.
No, it's just they just kind of go crazy. We try to do some Law and Order with it, but it just doesn't work.
Do you have read the card first? You got to read the card first.
It's you don't even know who it's from. You don't even know who it's from.
Yeah.
Serious question. How much effort do you put into a gift for your spouse at this point in your marriage?
Oh, goddamn.
Wow.
We're kind of I will say, like, Alexi and I have decided just in the thick of kids, it's not going to be a thing.
We made the same decision too, but I think it really came from me just being terrible at getting her gifts.
I'm really
like,
too.
Yeah. And like the thing that pisses me off too, and is like, there's a clothing store that's not too far from where we live. It's like casual clothing for men and women. And I was in there getting a sweater for myself. I think actually this sweater, no joke. And I saw they have like matching, like,
was it on sale?
It was. This was This was full price. I paid full price. I actually paid a little more. I liked it so much.
Okay. But you said it will go great with the red cap.
Well, they said that. That was part of the whole marketing of it. But I got her like sweatpants and a sweatshirt, and I remember when she opened it, she was like, "Oh, thank you!" Like clearly throwing shade at like the lame gift. She wears those sweatpants and that sweatshirt like 2 to 3 days a week. So I'm just like, yeah, you hated it at the time, and we're like mad that we got married, but you love it now.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
That's why I got Alexi water, and she drinks it fucking every day.
It's like a bottle of Smart Water.
I did actually get Alexi a water bottle one year that was one of the best gifts I ever gave her that she always uses.
This is a true story, Tim. Back in the day when I first started in SNL, I remember Ike once visited me, and I had a Brita in my fridge, but there was no filter. It was just. Do you remember this, Ike?
Yeah.
Because at like some point I'd lost the filter, but I still was using the Brita. And I remember you took it out. And you're like, and this works.
It's more ceremonial.
It was the Brita filter, champagne and mustard was at one point the only thing I had in my fridge.
So Tim, back to this. Do you have to pretend that you like a gift even if you don't like a gift?
No, I can't remember the last time I had to pretend to like a gift.
All right.
No, I mean, the only times you have to do that, right, is if the person's in the room with you, right?
Sorry,
then later, go ahead. Yeah,
Tim, real quick. Your lighting has changed. Where is the Maltese Falcon?
Okay. Listen, I know.
A broad stole it from me.
No, hold on.
But I got plans for her.
Talk amongst yourselves.
All right.
I liked it, by the way. I wasn't.
Yeah, no, it was great.
It looked cool. You never see that in podcasts. There's a modern medium. That's cool. There we go. Yeah. This could be a call center in Bangalore.
Did you have did you have a kid of your 3 kids, each of you, that was easier over the years to buy gifts for? Like someone that was specific in what they loved?
Yes, for sure. Right? I think so. There's certain people they're so easy to buy gifts for, right? Well, first of all, it's always great when somebody has like that's their thing. They like blah blah blah, right? That's such a help, right?
Yeah, our middle kid Peyton loves Legos, like any kind of Lego. So that's just like a home run, and she will literally like open it, and while we're still doing gifts, like go into the dining room and start like assembling it. Like that's an easy home run. The other 2 kids, I don't get along with them very well, so I don't know.
Sure, yeah.
But she really is good at that.
Don't you think for the price point, Legos should take 5 times longer than they do? Because I'm so excited when they start building Legos, and I'm so bummed how quickly it's over.
Yeah.
Have you guys? I don't know if you've ever. Have you ever been to Lego Land?
I've never gone yet. Is it great?
Yeah. If you're a kid and you love Legos, it's great. If
Hey,
you're
Josh.
not, it's
Josh,
bad.
jump in on this because this is a family trip. So get your teeth in.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah, I'm enjoying this so far. Well, thanks for cutting him off.
Legoland is rough. If you're an adult who's not a Lego enthusiast, it's like Disneyland, but instead of the dozens and dozens of beloved characters from 100 years of movies and TV shows, it's just Lego. So it's just like, instead of you could be like, whoa, my God, there's Darth Maul fighting Goofy. In Legoland, it's like, oh my God, look at that square.
Right. I guess the problem with this, Ike, is that you're like the cool version of you is the one at Disneyland who's super psyched to see Goofy and Darth Maul. You know how like when you're adult with your kids and you're like, oh,
Yeah, I'm a
Goofy.
Disney adult. I'm not a Lego adult.
We went to Disney with my dad and mom. And I remember like, Dad, do you remember Dad started dancing with Snow White?
Yeah.
And it was just, it was,
Oh no.
And I remember feeling so to my bones embarrassed. And
Yeah.
now my oldest he just has so much embarrassment for anything I do, whereas my middle could care less. But it is funny to watch. I deeply remember, don't stop dancing with Snow White.
I
This is
remember
not for you.
I remember when my daughter went to school one day, I was walking her to school, and the headmaster at the time was a jovial fella, and he was just kind of looking at the kids, and he goes, "There's a bright golden haze on the meadow." And I go, "There's a bright golden haze on the meadow." And my daughter looked at me with like if I was her, Menendez brothers, like dead, shotguns.
We don't know.
Everyone's
They
dead.
were sort of justified. And,
They, oh no! I want. If there's one thing I want to come out of this podcast is that those boys are free this holiday. But yeah, it was very embarrassing for her.
There was a time, not to brag, and they're not a sponsor, but Cecily Strong and I did some Verizon ads, and there was one kid who every day I dropped off Ash for like 3 months, and he would go, "Hey, Verizon," and basically, I remember at some point, I literally muttered to like a 7-year-old, like, "I do other stuff." This is like a very small part of what I do.
There's nothing better than a 7-year-old. I once dropped off. My kids went to this progressive school, and I think it was Larry Charles's kid. Remember, the director?
Larry. Yeah.
Yeah, his kid was like, but this is kindergarten through 6th grade, so he's not above 6th grade. I think that kid at the time might have been in 3rd or 4th, and I was on campus dropping my kids off, and he goes, "You're really great in Deadwood, man." And I was both like, I'm both concerned, and I also, for that point forward, I was like, that kid's cool.
That kid's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Until he went all swearingen on one of his classmates and called him a filthy cocksucker.
Yeah.
I said this, I think I said this on the podcast, but I went to pick up Axel, the middle one, at camp this summer. And a kid came up to me and goes, "Is it true?" And I go, "Is what true?" He goes, "Did you write the song The Final Countdown?" And I was like, "Why?" And I was saying to Axel, like, why? I do stuff why? You don't have to make up a thing.
Wait, the Europe song, The Final Countdown?
Yeah.
Axel's telling his my dad's the frontman for Europe.
My dad wrote, in the mid-'80s, my dad wrote The Final Countdown.
Yeah, my
I
dad's
love that you
78
pulled
years
the
old.
Europe. I love that you pulled Europe right there. You were right there.
Yeah.
Ding, ding. Don't make me tap the sign.
Celebrity Jeopardy. Do you know that? Do you know that about Ike, Tim?
No.
Ike
What
won
is it?
Celebrity Jeopardy.
He won Celebrity Jeopardy, and then he was entered into the Tournament of Champions and made it through a couple rounds of that, of Reg Jeopardy.
Right, Jeff. Right? They call it
Reg
Reg Jep.
Yeah.
Ask me
That's
any
wonderful.
question, Tim. Ask me any question.
Huh? How do
Ask
you
me
live
any
with
question.
yourself?
Did you ever?
Was that a question on Celebrity Jeopardy? Was that a question? Was that a question on Celebrity Jeopardy?
No, they didn't give that one.
By the way, just new podcast with me and Seth.
Yeah.
How do you live with yourself?
How do you live with yourself?
How do you live with yourself?
With Tim Olyphant and Seth Meyers. You're in
Oh
on that,
my
right,
God.
Seth?
I'm in.
We
Yeah, I
need
got
you to-
nothing but time to do podcasts.
We need
I
you
already
someone
got
to
the gear.
hold the center. And
All
we'll
right.
have celebrity guests on, and then we'll just ask them how they live with themselves.
How do
I
you
know
live with
my
yourself?
brother. He's going to try to get it back. Here you go, buddy.
Well, I'm gonna
Let's
try
go.
to.
Family
I feel
trips?
like we have one more. We have a video message.
Yeah.
That I
What?
think is going to help to get us back on track.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying you're putting a lot of confidence in our next guest to get us back on track.
Well, I think our guest will talk about holidays, and then we'll get back to holidays. But I think we need sort of a reset, and this is gonna do it.
Hello, Meyers brothers. Amy Poehler here, wishing you a very happy holiday and checking in with you on your holiday podcast of family trips. I don't have any holiday stories about going away for the holidays. My family always stayed in the Boston area for Christmas. And we just like kind of drove from town to town visiting various relatives, but we never went anywhere warm or anywhere cold or anywhere. So I've been kind of racking my brain to think about what to add to your podcast, but I will say that a holiday ritual that I've started as an adult that I hope to continue is the New Year's Day polar plunge. And I don't do it just because it's my last name. I do it because I feel like the cold waters cleanse me of my previous year's sins and get my head straight for what's ahead. So I go to Coney Island. I jump in the water with the rest of the crazy people. And I'm going to be doing that again this year, Jan 1. So it's not really a trip. I mean, I guess it's a trip in that it takes your mind to crazy places, man. I mean, it's kind of an existential trip. Have you guys ever thought about talking about trips a different way? You know, trips where you don't even leave your couch. Family trips where you all go to a different dimension. Anyway, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. I know you don't celebrate Hanukkah, but well, actually, you probably do, right? I don't know. I'm not sure. But either way, happy holidays to you both. I love your podcast. I love you. And I hope you have a wonderful end of the year, beginning of the next.
Back on
Amazing.
track, baby.
There we go. Oh,
Well,
polar
I'm-
plunge.
I'm going to jump in. Has anybody here ever done a polar plunge?
I've done
Well,
like
I just got back from Finland. That's all we did.
But did you go in ice cold water?
Yeah.
Okay.
What other kind of water do they have there this time of year?
That's a good point.
like the
I thought you were in
showers
like
are ice
saunas
cold?
and stuff.
You do the sauna and then you go out and jump in the lake.
Oh, wow. So you were doing a full lake. God love you. Was it great?
Oh my, amazing. Highly recommended.
Isn't it more of a fjord?
What? How do we feel
Isn't
about
it-
this? That's the thing to do, right?
Oh,
Great,
There
it's
we
great.
go.
Can I just
There
keep
we
my arm
go.
like that? Is that a problem? Or
Yeah,
should I
that'll
get up?
Yes, Tim in the back. I've never jumped in a cold lake, but I recently started. When I'm done with my shower, I
Mhm.
turn the cold all the way, and it gets cold. And for like 20 seconds, I let it hit my face. For 20 seconds, I let it hit like this side of the lymph nodes. Then 20 seconds this side of the lymph nodes. And again, sorry, I'm just gonna say it. And then the last 20 seconds, turn around, pull apart my butt, let it all. I do. I'm being serious, and I feel good about it. I feel
That's a daily. That's a
that's
daily
a
thing.
daily routine now. It's part of my daily routine. I'm keeping
I
all my
was at a-
glands cold.
I was at a party 2 or 3 weeks ago that Ike was at, and I was trying to leave. I was like, I had to get home. I had stuff to do the next day, and I walked.
Two
there was a-
saddest words in the English language. I'm thinking them right now.
It was a
What
dining room
party?
table, and Ike was telling
What
a story
party?
about his process of going from bath to shower. And it was taking so long. And I found a gap in the story where I was like, hey, I'm going to take off. And he's like, and then I go from the tub to the shower. I was like, brother, I got to go. I got to get out of here. He was holding court talking about like, I get in a tub. I put in like a half a bag of Epsom salts, hot as you can.
Baking soda, throw some
Little bit of baking
soda.
soda. Little bit of baking soda.
Everyone's just on their
I go
phones. while I'm
underwater.
talking.
I hold my breath for as long as I can. And I was like, goodbye.
Then
then
somebody
you
else
remove-
walked in, and Ike was like, "Oh, I'll start from the beginning."
All right. So get naked. Turn the water on. Jesus.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break and hear from some of our sponsors.
This episode of Family Trips is brought to you by Nissan. It's time to fuel your inner adventurer in the award-winning Nissan Rogue, Rock Creek.
Hey, Seth,
Yeah.
tell me about your inner adventurer. Are you a rocky trails guy or more of a snow roads bird?
I'm a snow roads bird. Like to go up my snow roads, maybe pull over at one point, pop off a couple snow angels back in the car, keep on rocking.
Yeah, I was going to say your snow angels are some of the nicest snow angels I've
Yeah.
ever seen.
They look as though an angel fell from heaven and just splatted into the snow.
Yeah, one thing I will
Yeah.
say, a note on snow angels,
Yeah.
you don't have to do them face down.
What? This is going to be a game changer. What about you, Posh? Rocky trails or snow roads bird?
Well, I mean, I'm a bit of both. I do love when you're in a vehicle that can handle some rocky terrain. I like driving slow and feeling a big old tire sort of creep over a rock and sort of waggle you back and forth. And that's the kind of feeling that you can get with some confidence in the Nissan Rogue Rock Creek.
And I would say a lack of confidence in the car we drove in high school, which was a Renault Le Car. And if it was even a little bit rainy, you wouldn't go outside.
Whatever kind of adventurer you are, the Nissan Rogue Rock Creek is ready for you. Thanks to its intelligent around view monitor with off-road mode, the Rogue Rock Creek helps brave adventurers like you and also Seth to navigate around narrow obstacles in tough terrain. So thanks again to Nissan for sponsoring this episode of Family Trips. Adventure calls in the first ever Nissan Rogue Rock Creek. Learn more at nissanusa.com.
Intelligent around view monitor cannot eliminate blind spots. It may not detect every object. Drivers should always turn and check surroundings before driving. See owner's manual for safety information. Support comes from Rocket Money. Hey, Poshy.
Yeah, Sufi.
You know the deal. You sign up for something, forget about it after the trial period ends, then you're charged month after month after month.
Oh,
Subscriptions are there. You're not using them. I do this all the time. Maybe there's an article I want to read. Maybe there's a fantasy football advice columnist that I feel like is going to help me out on draft day, and then I forget that all of a sudden it's April, there's no football happening, and I'm still paying this month-to-month fee. And Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel these unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings.
Yeah, the one that gets me is a lot of times I'll sign up for like a free trial. There'll be some station or some something, and I want to watch a movie, and it's like, well, just get this free trial, and then you're all good. And then years later, I realize I've been paying $19.99 a month. Didn't even know I had that station anymore, but I did, and I've been paying for it. But with Rocket Money, it's not going to be like that anymore, because you can easily create a personalized budget with custom categories to help keep your spending on track. See your monthly spending trends in each category and know exactly where your money is going.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/trips today. That's rocketmoney.com/trips. rocketmoney.com/trips.
Here we go.
Posh, I'm going to turn the tables on you a little bit, and obviously they're going to be listening, so this is not meant to disparage them, but Mom and Dad are coming to visit you for the holidays.
Yeah.
And one of the things they always applaud you for is how well scheduled their time is with you. So can you tell us like 2 or 3 things you have on the docket for Mom and Dad's visit?
Yeah, we're going to go to the Getty.
Right.
We've been to the Getty, but only briefly.
Which one?
The one on the 405, the Getty Center.
405.
Yeah.
What day? What time?
Well, this will air, I think, afterwards, but Christmas Eve.
Nobody listened to you when you said what party, and now you're just moving on to like which museum, where, when.
So we're going to the Getty. We're going to do the Getty for a little bit.
Yep.
We're going to have lunch up there.
Might see you there on the phone.
Great.
Might see you there.
We're coming back.
That's a good call.
We're doing Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve because on Christmas morning we're going to get up and we're going to do Christmas here. We're going to do presents. We got the Steelers on at 10 a.m. out here.
Wow.
In the 3 o'clock hour on Christmas Day, we're going to Genghis Cohen.
Yes.
We're going to do a big dinner. The 26th, we're going to go see the Bob Dylan movie.
Great.
And, yeah, hoping for a lot of that out of our.
I was up for the part. I lost it to Timothy, and I wish him the best.
Yeah.
Hey,
we're gonna play golf.
Thanks for coming in, Ike. If you could just slate yourself and then just do a little Bob for us.
Ike Barinholtz, 6'3". Pete Seeger.
You know, the impression's great. 6'3" is a giant problem.
I can play much smaller. I'm excited to see that movie. I'm
You
excited
didn't
to
see those
it.
Hobbit movies? Those guys weren't that big.
Dude, Sean
Those guys weren't that small.
Normal size.
Those
guys.
are normal sized people. Guys,
they
it's
just figured
totally
it out.
doable.
You think
They
Ian
just-
McKellen's fucking 8 feet tall? No, it's forced perspective.
So
Come on.
they were like, we're either going to go with Chalamet and we got to have a regular size guitar, or we go with Ike and we just got to get a real big one.
They said James Mangold said the budget would be too big to build these giant guitars for me. And don't even get me started on the harmonica.
Oh
thing.
my God, the harmonica was the
That
budget
was
on
like,
the harmonica. Yeah,
too much.
looked like a carburetor. So all right, so you got the movie. That's great.
Yeah. I mean,
What's the best over the years? You've taken mom and dad to a lot of holiday movies, like
Yeah.
around this time. What
Yeah.
was the best one where you guys walked out and you were all in a really good mood?
Well, last year, and we can't do it again because we did it last year. I mean, you could do it again, but we went to the Walt Disney Concert Hall and saw the LA Phil playing along to Home Alone.
Wow.
And Home Alone's so good. It's so fun. And I was worried in the middle of it. I sort of looked over and I was like, is Dad enjoying this? Because I know Mom's enjoying it. And I was worried about Dad. And then afterwards, he was like, that was great. That was so impressive.
Well, your dad hates burglars.
He hates burglars.
So he was happy to see
He hates
them
most
get their-
things.
He
Just
hates most
desserts.
things. Yeah.
Is that true?
Seth-
The Meyers dad, he's a curmudgeon kind of a thing?
Yeah.
I mean, like, he likes
It's a
what he
taste
likes. but-
curmudgeon.
Yeah.
He's. I would say
loves-
this.
He
He's very
loves
honest.
Shameless. He loves Showtime's Shameless. And and if you if he ever
filmmaking.
says to you, "Have you seen Shameless?" It doesn't matter what your answer is. He'll explain what it is. There's no way for him to not explain the premise of the show Shameless to you.
Seth, where are you guys going?
What are you doing?
We're gonna go.
Are you acting right now?
We're
like
gonna
this?
go.
He's shooting a David O. Russell movie.
Your arms up like that Bruce Springsteen Born in the USA pose. That's what I like.
This is
Yeah.
how I went to most junior high dances. I was like, I just want to make sure this doesn't fall.
I am going to
I'd
be in
love
New
to be happy
Mexico.
to dance, but this could come down any second. So I'm just going to stay over here and hold this wall.
New Mexico Christmas.
New Mexico
Let's go.
Christmas.
Wait, you're going to New Mexico?
Yeah. That's where my wife's from. So we're going to go to New Mexico, which is lovely, but a little
You're
cold.
bringing the 3 kids?
We're going to bring them all.
Abshinashibab?
Yeah. I will say the thing that's very nice about Albuquerque, New Mexico, if you are a New Yorker,
Gene Hackman.
is everything is easy to get to and there's parking everywhere. So when you go to the zoo, you park like right next to the front door. And then it's a real good zoo. So that's nice. It's just by like day 5, you've been to the zoo 3 times and the science museum 5 times and you want to kill yourself. Anyway, can't wait to
And
see
I-
my in-laws.
Christmas morning, you guys do like a 7-hour immersive tour of all the Breaking Bad locations.
We do. And
pretty- I think
we
it's
give out
cool.
little, we cast it. So, my daughter, she's Jessie.
Yeah.
And then Axel's
Axel,
Gus
you're
Fring.
Tuco this year.
We give him a little bell.
You want some more potatoes? Bing, 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 bing.
Do the kids like Do they have a whole like? They love to go to Grandma and Grandpa's. Like in New
Love
Mexico?
it.
They
Love it.
Yeah.
It's the best. And I really, my in-laws are the
They're
best. And
they're a
they're
good
good
grandma
people.
and grandpa.
Good, fine
yeah.
people. And so it's lovely. And I will say, love New Mexican food. It's a little bit like going to Italy for 2 weeks, where by day 4 you wish there was a second cuisine, but it is exceptionally good food.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Well, Josh, do you want to wrap up how disappointed you are?
Well, I just think,
Wow.
maybe we prep a little bit more for this next year. When we
No,
get
it's
to
good.
It.
It's
I
good.
feel like Tim's got a lot of stuff sort of still in his back pocket.
What do you mean? Why do you think Tim, every time you ask Tim a question, he's like, we didn't do anything. I don't know what we ate. And yeah, it's over.
I
and
got
you're
stories.
Like,
you want? What do you want? I can give you a story. You want a travel story? You want a holiday? What do you want?
Do you want travel stories? Yes.
I just feel like every time we got close to a story, we
Okay.
got cut off by some bit.
yeah.
We got cut off by a bit.
Yeah.
That's what the stories are.
Well, it was very special that you guys joined us on this holiday spectacular. Obviously we may reconsider the name based on how it turned out.
I was about to say, has this been it?
Don't undercut it.
Did I?
If
I
you
did,
guys
and re-listening to your first time around the block with us, Tim, it was maybe like 22 minutes into the episode where you said, "Is this the podcast?"
Wait, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Oh, wow.
I would like to say that in our family, we've always been able to say when we don't like gifts. And it's something that I've held on to, which is tricky with my wife and her family because they're not of that mind. But I think that's it's a good way to be.
they're not
to
of that
be,
mind, aka polite.
It's not impolite. You can say it's the thought that counts, and to not hold on to something that you know that you dislike because you're afraid of offending someone.
And my thoughts count too. And I'm currently thinking, I don't like this gift. So why are my thoughts worth less than
I
yours?
will keep this in about the holidays and the. Is it about the trips or the it's the holidays?
Holiday trips.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because cards are a big deal for us. I feel like we love the cards.
Wait,
Like Christmas cards or playing card games.
No, yeah. We are big into. And I feel like I've kept them all. But I feel like encouraging the kids to write like really good cards. Is like so wonderful. Like that's been a big stress throughout our holidays over the years, and still is. I think even with our kids being much older.
Oh, that's
There's
nice.
nothing better
Nice.
than, and it's super great when they give each other a card. Like those things are pretty big,
Tim,
more so than gifts.
I feel like I've heard this story about
What?
Josh Duhamel. Are you in his Christmas card one year?
He was our Christmas card.
So
Wait, what?
did he pose with your family?
I like that. I was like, wait, what? I think I can pull it up. So, for years I'd been hearing, that one, I remember the first time I was playing pickup basketball with a bunch of buddies, and they're like, have you met this guy, Josh Duhamel? And they're like, you guys could be brothers. You guys look so alike. And then over the years, you go into a cafe and some girls behind the counter are giggling, and I make some dumb comment to my wife, like, look at this, I can't go anywhere anymore. And then my wife goes up to the counter and they're like, is that really Josh Duhamel? Like I got a lot of, and then, so I got a lot over the years mistaken for Josh Duhamel, and would be, you kind of know, and we had like, friends in common, that he was being mistaken for me a lot over the years. So we're at a Dodger. Clayton Kershaw had this charity event out at Dodger Stadium, and someone's like, Josh Duhamel's here, and I'm like, oh my God, please let this be. As soon as I saw him, we'd never met. We both just started laughing. It was just as soon as we saw each other, we started laughing. And while he and I are talking, Mookie Betts goes up to Josh and says, "Are you going to do another Hitman?" And he looks and says, "Not me, buddy." And he points, he goes, "This guy." And then Mookie Betts like, "Oh!" It happened right in front of me. It was amazing. So we literally have had this thing. So it occurs to me, no off switch here. I say, I was like, "Dude, I got my whole family here." And he goes, and I said, would you take a picture? And so he said, "Sure." Not only did he take a picture, it's he and my wife, the 3 kids. Right before we snap it, he puts his head over on my wife's he puts his head over in Alexis. He grabs my son and pulls him in really tight. So this is amazing photograph of Josh Duhamel, my wife, and 3 kids. And my daughter's looking at, I mean, the looks on their faces is amazing. And we sent that out as our holiday card.
Oh my God.
And just said, "Happy holidays from the Olyphants and Josh." And we put it just sort of small on the bottom. But the punchline of this whole thing is that my brother was at my mom's house. He called me. He's like, "Dude," I was like, he goes, "Mom always puts up all the holiday cards on the refrigerator." And he goes, "Hey," I literally just go, I said, "How about Tim's?" He says, "I just said to Mom, how about Tim's card?" And she goes, "I know, don't they all look great?" And he said, "Mom, that's not Tim, right?" She said, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "That's not Tim." And then she goes, "What?" She goes, "Oh my goodness." She goes, "I thought he looked taller."
All these years, your mom has been telling people, "My son's the star of the TV show Las Vegas."
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So he was that was a memorable holiday card, and he and I, we have exchanged cards ever since then. Me and
wow.
Josh.
I want to make that my holiday card.
Who would you, Ike? Who would yours be for the lookalike card?
Well, I mean, it's always been Mark Wahlberg, but as I get older, it is becoming Chris Cooper.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, people are always saying to me, like, "Why were you so mean to Jason Bourne? Why did you approve Treadstone?" But yeah, so I would do one of those guys. Maybe
I
Donnie
like that
Wahlberg.
you're only approached by people who also don't understand that actors aren't responsible for what their characters do in movies.
That's right. Not only mistaken
Why didn't you want Jake Gyllenhaal to be good at rockets?
You're a tulip expert, right?
Pashi, what's yours?
I don't know. I don't know who my doppelganger is.
What about our governor?
Oh yeah.
Speaking of our governor.
Our Governor Newsom, I through Seth, Newsom Gavin's sister reached out to see if I would record a birthday message for him, which I did. It was like 4 days before my wedding, and I was stressed out, but I got this request from the governor's sister, and I was like, I got to do it. So I recorded this thing, and then just yesterday, Seth forwarded me a thank you that Governor Newsom recorded for me, and it's great. It's so good. He's doing my impression of him back to me.
That's the part that's really impressive. He's doing Josh's Newsom, and of course, it's
and really then and Mackenzie, my wife, was watching it with me, and she said, you sound just like him. And I'm like, he's doing me doing him. and halfway through the message, he drops the impression and he's just himself. And she's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, in that story, when you said you were stressed 4 days before the wedding and doing it, were you stressed about the wedding or having to record that message for the governor?
I was stressed because I had a lot on my plate, and then
he
entered into my to-do list was, hey, can you sort of, and if I'm sending a message to Newsom, I want it to be good.
Yeah.
I want to sort of write something.
So did the toast at the rehearsal dinner, did it was not quite up to par?
No. Everything
You're like,
worked
honey,
out.
I had to work on something.
God damn it, it's the governor.
Ike crushed it at the wedding.
You want me to read the whole speech right now? Got it on my phone. Here we go.
First you get the bath hot.
It finished with him singing "We Didn't Start the Fire."
It did. At my wedding, Josh and Jordan Peele and Rob Benedict, our friends, sang Billy Joel's for the longest time to my wife, and then for
With
Josh,
you
with me,
you took
with
the
me, with
lead.
me.
Yeah.
I'll tell you-
and then I sang "We Didn't Start the Fire" for him.
I'm going to give you guys here's a proud moment. Keep in mind, I got married at 22. I guess I just turned 23. Feel like that's relevant to the joke. At the rehearsal dinner, I made a toast, and I said to my future father-in-law that while I'd only known him a short time, I wanted to know that I found him very wealthy, and I.
That's really
I
great.
find you very wealthy.
I find you very wealthy, and I've always liked that about you. Yeah. So there you go. I was
There you
proud
go.
of it. I
Yeah.
was proud of it. I
Yeah.
ran it by my buddy, my best man, the night before. I was like, "Hey, what do you think of this?" I was like, literally from the shower. I'm like, "Hey, what do you think of this?" He's like, "Are you fucking serious?" I was like, "It's gonna play, right?"
I think it holds up.
I've always said, and I've road tested this a great amount of times at charity fundraisers that I've hosted in New York City. Rich people never mind jokes about them being rich.
This one's tricky though, because underneath it is, I want some of it.
It's true. It's different.
It's a little tricky because there's an implication there.
Yeah.
When you're at one of these charity functions, ostensibly you are not going to sleep with all of their daughters.
It's true.
You see, this does runs a little bit of a.
It's a different bit of a cut there.
Yeah. Did your wife like it at the time? Do you recall?
Yeah, I mean, there was as I recall, it really was there was a silence there for a good like 1,000. I don't know who laughed first, but it definitely was it was a bit of
Josh, I feel like maybe because you got married a little bit later in your life. No awkward speeches, would you say?
Oh, I don't. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No awkward speeches.
Did you have anything at yours, Ike?
No. It was all good. Yeah, no, nothing weird or bad from what I remember. At least I had a few beers, but from what I remember,
And I,
it was
of course,
pretty smooth.
had Chris Kattan, which was a full disaster.
So good.
Yeah.
But then
And then
you had Will Forte
Will Forte
come in and give the funniest.
Next time
speech
you're here,
ever.
Tim, next time you're in New York, I will show you Will Forte's wedding toast.
It's the funniest speech I've ever seen at a wedding.
I can't email it because it like multiple people would just be like ushered out of show business. But it's
I
really
look forward
special.
to it. I
Yeah.
look forward to that evening.
All right. Well, what do you think, Josh? I gotta kind of check in with my bro here to make sure he feels like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think we wrap it up. We let everyone get back to their holidays. And
Great.
yeah, thanks, fellas.
I feel
Thank
like
you, guys.
right as we hang up, Tim's gonna be like, "I once took a Christmas train across the country."
I just had that great. He had a great Christmas card story about Josh Duhamel. I bet we would have gotten to that earlier.
We took a train. You want to train?
We met Santa. Oh, I forgot. We actually met Santa Claus at my family.
Listen, I'll give you a train. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's say it was around the holidays.
Okay.
We were up in Northern California visiting my brother, and we decided we'd take the train to Modesto. And we got my wife. We've got her French bulldog, Bruno, because she's like, we got to take Bruno. So, but she's like, we really want to take we're gonna have a fun take Amtrak down through the Central Valley to Modesto. And as my brother takes us over to the train station, we're sitting there on the platform, and as we're starting to wait. Oh, and my brother's given us the vest, was it not a service dog vest, but a
Oh yeah,
what's it called? You gotta
for your dog. You put the thing on your dog.
Yeah,
It's
you put the vest,
service
but
animal.
it's called
Service animal.
what's it called? Not service
A
dog.
harness?
It's the one that's What's the one that's like it's helping the person? Like it's like if you
social anxiety.
What's that called?
Emotional support.
Emotional.
Thank
support.
you. So we got to say it's an emotional support dog.
Okay.
That's important to this story.
Yeah.
Tighten that part up, would you?
No, that was good.
So we're there on the platform. The dog is in this vest that's way too big for it, but it's an emotional support dog vest. And just before the train arrives, it occurs to me, our buddy's got a beach house in Carpinteria, and the train runs right behind it. And whenever we stay in the back guest room, the train goes by, Bruno freaks out. And I was like, Bruno freaks out whenever that train comes by. And we're like, oh, fuck. Well, I don't think that's going to be an issue, right? If we're on the train.
Right.
That's different, right? Right. Because it's different if you're on the train than a train passing by.
Sure.
Yeah. And we're like, okay, we got to keep him sort of busy while the train approaches. That as long as we do that and we get on. So sure enough, as the train arrives, Bruno starts freaking out. And freaking out is the dog starts panting and starts going, like he really starts shaking and freaking out. And so we walk onto this train. We're like, it's going to be fine. We just get on the train. And once we're on the train, the vibrations, it's going to be fine. And we ride that train for at least 45 minutes. And throughout, it doesn't not only improve, it just continues to get worse and worse. And Bruno is like, and we're starting to get I feel like the dog might have a heart attack, And so I just want you to know that at one point, my wife is on the train walking up and down the car, holding the dog that has an emotional support vest on. And she's going, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
She should have put the vest on.
I said, honey, you want to put the vest on?
She's like, oh, no, I'm emotional support for animals.
Yeah.
I see the confusion.
We had to get off the fucking train. We got off the train in Stockton and called an Uber.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, you can cut it out. It's fine. I'm just saying it's a train. It's a trip.
Yeah.
There was a trip involved.
You said you want a train.
I can tell you, you want trip stories? We give you trip stories. You know what I mean? I don't
He's
want you to
got
go-
him. You guys, he's got him. You also,
I feel like I'm just going to flip through a Richard Scarry book and just yell out cars and see if Tim has a story about those too.
Let's go.
I'm in a pickle car.
I got cars.
I'm in a pickle car.
When you were telling that story, you were leaning in so much. I was really getting flashes of the David Lynch weather report.
Yeah.
Very much.
The king.
He and I did that together, on the radio here in LA. He did
right.
I did the sports. He did the weather. You know that?
No.
Yeah.
Really?
For
For
W?
a few years on, there was an indie punk station here in LA. And
103.1?
Yeah, 103.1. Thanks, Ike.
Yeah.
And I did the sports. Yeah.
Love it.
And when my claim to fame was, I'm taking way too much time. You want to tell you my sports David Lynch weather story?
It's funny. They did that. I did the traffic. I would, I got my chopper and I would just kind of fly around the city and give flash traffic.
But your chopper, it was a motorcycle.
It was it was a Harley. I'd be driving up and down the 405. Shit looks pretty fucked up out here.
Yeah. You guys need a sports reporter on your family trips. I'll just come in and do the sports. You let me know.
Hey, I just realized
Dodgers
you're wearing a
based.
late night shirt, Ike. Thanks for the support.
Yeah, 34% of my clothing is late night with Seth Meyers based.
Thanks, bud.
So
We got good shirts. We got
repping
good
the
shirts.
brand.
Strong.
Do you guys want family trip sweatshirts?
Yes.
Okay. We'll get them out.
Yep.
Great.
That was
All
it.
right.
It seemed like it was a no from Tim.
Tim, I'm going to ask a question again.
I don't like a lot of clutter. You know what I mean? I just like clutter. No, I was just wondering if I wanted a gift wrapped, size medium, I guess. Medium, snug. What color
All right.
is it? What if
I'm
the
gonna
follow up
wait-
was what color is it?
I'm going to wait for Josh to say goodbye because I feel like,
I feel like he's going away happy. I feel like he's.
I do too now.
Just put him in the holiday mood.
Yeah. I usually like to keep them an hour. We probably went an hour 20 here, but I think the last 20 was where we really
shit.
hit our stride.
Time
That's
to
the
go.
sweet spot.
Yeah.
I got swim practice at 10, guys. I gotta go.
All right. Thanks, boys.
They always call Tim to set an hour before they start shooting because they realize it takes him a full hour to remember what he's doing there.
Now remember, you just killed someone.
And on that note, happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Gentlemen, it's a pleasure. Just a pleasure.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, guys.
Family chips with the Meyers brothers.